Hello and welcome to COM 3350, Leadership Communication. My name is Dr. Annette Hamill and I will be your professor for this online course. The purpose of this video is to give you a little orientation, to give you an overview of our course content, the course procedures and policies, and how we'll be using the e-learning site in this online class. Before we go further, I'd like to talk about some misconceptions that students sometimes have about online courses. The first of these is the idea that online courses are easier than face-to-face courses. They are not. Online courses require a certain amount of self-discipline and organization that some students find challenging because you don't have the discipline of actually going to class a couple of times a week. So that might be something new for some of you. Another misconception is that online classes take less time than face-to-face classes. That is also not true. If you were taking this course in the classroom, you would be spending about 2.5 hours a week in the classroom, plus time outside of class doing readings and assignments. So you'll need to budget a similar amount of time for the course when you're doing it on your own. And the third misconception is that you can work at your own pace in an online class. Not in this one. Some online classes might be like that, but this one is not. We are going to have a schedule that we will follow by the week, and we'll look at that in just a moment. This course will have weekly modules, and during each week you'll be required to complete certain readings, complete certain assignments, and to turn those in by the due date. We'll be using two books for this course, a textbook and a supplemental book. The textbook is pictured on the left. It's called Leadership: A Communication Perspective by Hackman and Johnson. I use the 6th edition. I believe there's a 7th edition out there now, and there might be prior editions floating around on the used book market too, or you might even find some of those online. I don't really have a preference as to what edition you use. The 6th edition will run parallel to what I'm using, so the page numbers will be correct if we're both using the same edition. But if you have a different edition, it's not going to be a problem. The supplemental book is a memoir called Into Thin Air. The author is Jon Krakauer, and this is the story of an expedition to climb Mount Everest. You might have seen the 2015 movie Everest that was based on this book. It's a fascinating look into good and bad leadership and what the consequences of leadership choices can be. Let me give you a warning. There are a lot of books out there with the same title. So if you were to look up the title Into Thin Air on Amazon or some other book site, you'd probably find several different books of that title, including science books, and I think there's even a romance novel with that title. So please take care to ensure that you're getting the right book. You want the one authored by Jon Krakauer that is about climbing Mount Everest. You'll want to sign on to the e-learning site early in the week, preferably on Monday. Open up the module, see what's in there, see how much reading you need to do, what the assignment is, when the assignment is due, and think about how much time you'll need to budget to complete those activities and what block of time you might be able to set aside for completing your assignment. Take note that the due dates are usually 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, and the Dropbox or discussion board or whatever it is you're supposed to submit will lock at 11:59 p.m. So you'll want to get it in ahead of that deadline. The last page of the syllabus is the schedule. It looks similar to this. This one is from a prior term, so disregard the dates, but it's laid out in a grid format like this. It'll have the weekly modules, the dates, the topic, what the readings are, and then what the assignment is and when it's due. I encourage students to download the syllabus and print off a couple copies of the schedule page so that you can stick one in your planner, maybe pin one to the wall above your computer so that you always have a reminder of what you're supposed to be doing any given week. So the next thing you need to do is look around the site, examine everything in the Start Here module to get you completely oriented to the course, then go on to Module 1 and examine the content there. If you have any questions or problems, send me an email, and always check your WMISH email frequently, as that is the way I'll be communicating with the class. So let's get started.